everyone, this is Anisha Sharma and the topic of this video is types of companies under Income Tax Act. So in order to understand what are the types of companies under the Income Tax Act, let us first understand what is a company. A company is a voluntary association of people which is recognized by law, having a distinctive name, a common seal, which is formed to carry on business of profit with capital which is distributed into shares, transferable shares. It has limited liability on its partners and has a perpetual succession. Talking about the characteristics of a company is a legal person. The law recognizes company as a different person. It is an artificial person. It is not a natural person. It has continued existence. The liability of a company is limited. It has freely transferable shares. A company can buy and sell its own assets, and the company can sue and be sued. It has a separate ownership and management and a common seal, and also a company can be subject to dissolution. So these were some of the characteristics of a company. Coming to the companies under Income Tax Act, Income Tax Act divides company into broadly 5 categories. First is Indian company, second is domestic company, third is foreign company, fourth is widely held company, and fifth is closely held company. Talking about Indian companies, Indian company is defined under section 2 subsection 26 of the Income Tax Act. It says that any company which is formed or is registered under the Companies Act 2013 would be considered as an Indian company. Along with this, other companies, it includes other companies which is formed and registered under any other act which is which is enforced in any part of the state. So any act which talks about the formation of company as and is enforced in any part of the India, it will be included in the definition of Indian company according to the Income Tax Act. But the condition here is that the registered office or the principal office of that company should be in India only. So the Income Tax Act provides certain special benefits for Indian companies. Some certain special tax benefits are provided here. Next comes domestic company. So the domestic company is mentioned under section 2 subsection 22A of the Income Tax Act. So any company that is liable to pay tax within the territory of India would be known as domestic company. From this we understand that all Indian companies are domestic companies. Indian companies would come within the broad purview of a domestic company, and for this the domestic company, if it makes the prescribed arrangement for the declaration and payment of dividends in India on which the tax is deductible under section 194 of the Income Tax Act, then that company will become a domestic company. Talking about foreign companies, all Indian companies are domestic companies, but it is not necessary that every domestic company would be an Indian company. Talking about foreign companies, section 2 subsection 23A of the Income Tax Act talks about foreign companies. So these are the companies which are not domestic companies. Companies which are not domestic companies are foreign companies. So all non-Indian companies are not necessarily foreign companies. The payment of dividends within India of such non-Indian companies must be treated as a domestic company and not as foreign company. Talking about widely held company, section 2 subsection 18 of the Income Tax Act talks about this, and these are the company in which the public is having a substantial interest. So all those company in which the public of a country is having a substantial interest is known as widely held company. Some of the examples are any company which is owned by the government of India or the RBI, or companies under section 8 of the Companies Act, or a company having no share capital which is declared by the CBDT. CBDT is a central board for direct tax. Then Nidhi and mutual benefit societies, or a company owned by cooperative society or a limited liability company, or the last one, that is public company owned by government or non-limited companies. Talking about closely held company, this is just the opposite of widely held company. So any company in which the public is not having a substantial interest would be considered as a closely held company. Talking about the difference between the widely held company and so closely held company, under section 2 subsection 22E of the Income Tax Act, there are certain payments as dividends on which a closely held company is liable to pay tax. Also, a closely held company is allowed to carry forward the losses of a business only when the conditions that are mentioned under section 79 of the Income Tax Act are satisfied. Thank you.